you're asking the wrong guy. I'm a hardcore boxing fan. He's one of my heroes. I find it very sad. But it's a big event. I understand people are going to watch it. And it's entertainment, I guess. But for someone that idolised the guy growing up, yeah, not the best day. He's 58 years old.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It is for the first ever.
Mike Tyson has addressed British promoter Eddie Hearn's criticism of his impending bout with Jake Paul. Hearn, meanwhile, hasn't held back in expressing his disapproval of the matchup. Hearn plans to attend the event to support Katie Taylor's highly anticipated rematch with Amanda Serrano on the undercard. However, he has made it clear that he will exit the arena before Tyson and Paul face off, describing their fight as dangerous, irresponsible, and disrespectful to boxing. Former heavyweight champion Tyson was asked for his thoughts on Hearn's comments and replied, "Well, that's Eddie's opinion and that's all I can say." Hearn is not alone in worrying about Tyson's safety in the lead-up to the fight, which will be streamed live on Netflix next month. Tyson's declaration that he would prefer to die in the ring rather than in the hospital has also alarmed fans. In a promotional video on Netflix, Tyson said, "I don't do anything if I don't risk being embarrassed. Like now, I want to fight this young mother. This is really big for me. If I win, I will be immortal. If I do it bad, I don't want to die in a hospital bed. I want to die in the ring." The July fight between Tyson and Paul was initially planned, but it was postponed after Tyson experienced a medical problem while flying. An ulcer flare-up necessitated medical treatment, and the altercation with Paul was postponed. Meanwhile, Katie Taylor's rematch with Amanda Serrano on the undercard of Mike Tyson's fight with Jake Paul is now set at a catch weight of 138 pounds. Their initial showdown in 2022 had fans on the edge of their seats as Taylor eked out a victory by split decision, while some in the boxing world believed Serrano had shown enough to secure the win. The two fighters are now set to settle the score once and for all. Taylor enters the ring fresh off her triumphant revenge over Chantel Cameron, solidifying her legacy as an undisputed world champion across 2 weight classes. Meanwhile, the real-deal Serrano created a stir back in July, delivering a show-stopping knockout against Stevie Morgan. With the super lightweight titles on the line next month, the fighters were originally slated to clash at the division's 140 pounds limit. However, Taylor has now confirmed the fight will be contested at 138 pounds instead. Speaking to the Irish Mirror, Taylor said, "I think we're probably the same size, to be honest. The fight has actually been made at 138. It's a catch weight, but I think if you look at myself and Serrano, we're the same size. I could make 126 pounds as well if I tried." She added, "I don't think she's looked too well at that weight for the last few fights. She looks drained for making that weight, so I don't know if it's any advantage or not, but I certainly feel good at this weight. I feel strong at this weight." At 38, Taylor has recently faced rumors about stepping away from the ring. However, the Bray boxer is unwavering, firmly stating she has no plans to retire anytime soon. Chatting with Off the Ball, Taylor shared, "Yeah, I think that part of my life doesn't faze me. Once I give up the gloves and give up the sport, I'm going to be very satisfied that I've given it everything that I could over these last few years. I've given my life to the sport, really, both as a pro and as an amateur. From the first time I laced up a pair of gloves at 9 or 10, I have loved every single moment of it. I've learned so much about myself in the highs and lows of sport," Taylor added, "but all of those moments have led me to this moment as well, so I'm super excited to see what's going to happen on November 15th. But when it's time to step away from the sport, I think I'm going to enjoy that part of my life as well." The 27-year-old former YouTube sensation Paul enters the ring brimming with confidence, believing the age difference tilts the odds in his favor. Still, Tyson isn't one to back down. Fueled by the enthusiastic response to his recent training videos and matching his opponent's bravado punch for punch. In a recent TalkSport interview, Tyson delved into his mental and physical preparations for his upcoming clash with Paul at the iconic AT&T Stadium, home turf of the Dallas Cowboys. Tyson has vowed to catch and slaughter Paul, whose impressive 10-1 pro boxing record has sparked significant attention across the sport. Tyson said, "When you're in a big fight, you have to become delusional and believe you're somebody that you're actually not." Paul is in a lot of trouble. However, when discussing his strategy generally, Tyson disclosed that his issue with the problem child extends beyond this particular fight. Tyson said, "I don't fear for him because he stepped into the ring. "If my mother steps into the ring, she has a problem with me. Don't go in the ring if you don't want that problem." Tragically, Tyson's mother will never witness his return to the ring for a match against Paul. Lorna Mae Tyson passed away in 1982 when Mike was just 16 and already entangled in legal troubles. She missed the opportunity to see her son evolve into a formidable force in boxing during the late 1980s, a period highlighted by his rise to become the WBC heavyweight champion in 1986. In just 2 weeks, Tyson is determined to reclaim the iconic spirit of the 1980s as he prepares to step back into the ring. By drawing on the memories of his late mother, he hopes to gain a psychological edge over the formidable Paul, who has been cautioned that even the 14-ounce gloves won't dull the impact of Tyson's fierce punches. Mike Tyson has stated that his decision to fight YouTuber-turned-boxer Jake Paul is motivated by his fame. Nearly 2 decades have passed since the former undisputed heavyweight champion last entered the ring. That fateful night in 2005 ended with a loss to Kevin McBride, after which Iron Mike announced his retirement. His emotional post-fight interview has recently re-emerged online, sparking renewed interest as he prepares for his upcoming clash with the Problem Child. Tyson's comeback to the ring 4 years ago for an exhibition bout against boxing icon Roy Jones Jr. reignited interest in his boxing career. However, as he prepares for his upcoming fight with Paul, who is 31 years his junior, concerns about Tyson's health have been growing. These apprehensions intensified when the 58-year-old had to pull out of the initial matchup due to complications from an ulcer flare-up. Despite his doctor's orders to stop training, he has returned to the gym and is ready for action. Paul and Tyson are slated to clash on November 15th at the AT&T Arena in Arlington, Texas. Known as the Problem Child, Paul comes into this match riding high after his knockout win against Mike Perry in July. Holding an impressive record of 10 wins and just 1 loss, Paul's sole defeat in boxing came at the hands of Tommy Fury last year. This highly anticipated showdown will be streamed live on Netflix, attracting millions of viewers worldwide. With over 80,000 fans expected to attend, the clash between these two competitors promises to be an unforgettable spectacle. Tyson's contribution to these ticket sales is a key reason for his bout with the 27-year-old. In a recent chat with TalkSport, when questioned about his decision to fight now, Iron Mike responded, 58. I'm going to fight in the biggest arena ever, and it's going to be sold out, and who else can do that? When asked about the significance of selling out such a large stadium in the States, he said, it makes me feel like I have to perform. They're giving me all that inspiration and letting me know that, boy, you've got to perform tonight. It's time to perform. In the same conversation, the 58-year-old addressed concerns about his health given the imminent fight. He assured, everything is sorted out. I had an ulcer problem. I was eating bad food. When asked if he'll be ready for November 15th, Iron Mike simply replied, thank God. His remarks followed a discussion with Mail Online, where Tyson confessed his diet was responsible for his past health problems. I was doing too much bad food and stuff, and I got sick, he admitted. He has subsequently declared that in order to prepare for his match against the young American, he is eating clean and avoiding processed foods. On the Pound for Pound podcast, Tyson mentioned that he weighed 230 pounds and typically reached that weight during fight week. He explained that his body had changed somewhat, with added mass due to his workouts. He noted that as he worked out, he would gain weight, put on fat, and then convert that fat into muscle, resulting in a heavier physique. Standing at 5 feet 10 inches, Mike Tyson is largely considered a shorter heavyweight in comparison to the men he's fought. And in the general heavyweight boxing landscape, while Henry Cejudo pointed this out, Iron Mike added that he was relatively small, mentioning that his fight weight as a heavyweight champion had been around 217 to 219 pounds.
230.
230. Is that the biggest you've ever? Well,
In my fight weight, yeah, around 230. But my body's changed a little bit. My mass, I have more mass. I'm working out. You just put on weight, you put on fat, and you turn that fat into muscle, and so you become heavier.
Yeah, because you're relatively, for the heavyweight division, you're known as a short heavyweight.
It's small. I'm normally, my fight weight is the heavyweight. I was champ 217, 219.
Tyson was able to close the range and hit his opponents with devastating shots because of this exact size difference. In an old interview, a young Mike Tyson himself talks about using his height to his advantage. My size is to my advantage because most fighters are used to fighting opponents who are 6 feet 3 inches, 6 feet 2 inches, the average heavyweight. And I feel that I used it to my advantage because I move my head, I'm very quick, and I'm low to ground and it's very difficult to hit me. Standing at 6 feet 1 inch tall with a reach of 76 inches, Jake Paul occupies a space reminiscent of Mike Tyson's physicality. However, with a 31-year age gap favoring Paul, he could possess an edge in both speed and power over the legendary Tyson, who is now in the twilight of his career. Yet, Iron Mike remains steadfast. exhibiting a composed determination as he faces what could be the greatest challenge of his storied journey in the ring. In a vintage episode of the JRE, Tyson shared with Joe Rogan his aversion to workouts, claiming they fueled his aggression. With an impressive record of 44 knockouts out of 58 professional fights, Tyson earned his reputation as one of boxing's most intimidating figures, a persona that extended well beyond the ring. Many would contend that the former heavyweight champion instilled genuine fear in the hearts of his adversaries. In the same pound-for-pound episode, Henry Cejudo brought up a conversation he previously had about Mike Tyson with Oscar De La Hoya. We talked about fear. I do believe that there's something that makes Mike Tyson special. It's the fact that there's fear in you. On being asked to elaborate on that, Tyson admitted that he considered himself a fear-based person, explaining that his life was largely driven by fear. He shared that he feared success, as achieving it might lead to failure in another area, or at a higher level of involvement.
I don't know, that's just who I am. I'm a fear-based person. My whole life is based off fear of failing, fear of succeeding, because succeed may lead to failure in another direction, or in a higher participant of that direction.
The heavyweight boxing legend acknowledged that, despite feeling fear, he doesn't allow it to overwhelm him. He explained that he had learned to control his fear rather than be dominated by it, describing his relationship with fear as one he had developed over time. He credited his mentor for teaching him to understand fear, remarking that without this understanding, he would be a coward. However, he clarified that everyone experiences the same emotions, but what defines a coward or a hero is how they respond. He emphasized that while everyone has these feelings, it's essential to control them.
And but I know how to control my fear. My fear doesn't dominate me. You know, I have a relationship with my fear.
So you have a relationship with fear. So do you believe that you were born with that? Because your story
No,
is...
I wasn't born. I was taught. My mentor taught me to understand fear. You know, if you didn't if I didn't know the dynamics of fear, I would think I'm a coward. But I'm not a coward. Everybody has the same feelings, but it's what the coward do that makes him a coward, and what the hero doesn't do that makes him the hero. But we all have the same feelings. It's just to control those feelings.
Mike Tyson and Kamaru Usman explored the role of animosity in the boxing world, highlighting how it has enabled fighters like Floyd Mayweather and, more recently, Jake Paul to market their bouts effectively. Tyson is gearing up for a professional boxing showdown against Paul. The 58-year-old recently joined the Pound for Pound podcast, hosted by Kamaru and Henry, where he tackled the backlash regarding the significant age difference between himself and Paul. Tyson expressed that he feels youthful and challenged the notion that his age diminishes his fighting prospects. He suggested that Paul's challenge might actually be a blessing, presenting him with an opportunity to demonstrate that he remains a formidable competitor in the ring. He said, "By the grace of God, this guy Jake Paul came around." When podcast co-host Henry Cejudo prompted him to expand on his views regarding Paul and the impact of his promotional strategies on financial success, Tyson responded, "Because he made noise and he caused people to hate him. There is no bigger finance than hate. Hate sells more than love, but love is more powerful than hate." In response to Tyson's remarks, co-host Kamaru Usman said that Floyd Mayweather, like Paul, used hatred as a weapon. He said, "I feel that, and at some point, even some of the biggest guys, business and purse-wise and gate-wise, have understood this. I think Floyd understood this at one point where he realized, yes, his style might not have been friendly to watch because, of course, everybody, the spectators, they want to see violence. They all want to see blood, even though they're not willing to risk it themselves." Despite the significant age difference that has sparked debate, the matchup between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul has captured considerable interest within the combat sports world. In a recent analysis, Boxing Kingdom 14 examined data on Netflix subscribers and estimated that around 250 million individuals could access the live event. This projection suggests that the live action on November 15th could attract an audience in the hundreds of millions. They said 260 million households subscribe to Netflix. Assuming 2 people per household, which is conservative, that means our audience is over 500 million. Although the reported figures are substantial, they seem to be based more on speculation than solid evidence, as the study fails to accurately estimate how many boxing enthusiasts among Netflix subscribers would actually watch the fight. The problem child has thrown down another challenge, vowing to deliver a brutal performance against the baddest man on the planet in their upcoming match. Sanctioned by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations, TDLR, the match will consist of 8 rounds, each lasting 2 minutes, with both competitors sporting 14-ounce gloves. In any case, Paul's promoter, Most Valuable Promotions, released a behind-the-scenes video on YouTube yesterday, offering insights into the training camps of both Paul and Amanda Serrano as they prepare for their upcoming fight. The footage showcased various elements of Paul's preparation, prompting the 27-year-old to ponder his opponent's demeanor. "Mike's tough to decipher. He doesn't say much," he remarked. Despite that, Paul remained adamant about when Tyson enters the ring next month. "It's going to be the old Mike Tyson. The warrior Mike Tyson getting back to doing what he does best, which is annihilating people." In 2020, Tyson made his final appearance in the ring in an exhibition bout against Roy Jones Jr. that ended in a split decision tie. Tyson's last professional bout took place in 2005, where he suffered a 6th-round defeat to Kevin McBride. Despite this long hiatus, Paul expressed his gratitude to Tyson for his lasting impact on boxing, describing him as a significant source of inspiration. However, Paul soon shifted his focus. "But no matter what you do, you can't beat me. It's a passing of the torch, and with the utmost respect, I'm going to f*** you up," Paul said in the MVP Uncut segment. Mike Tyson never backs down from a challenge, even in the face of this menacing statement. He also has a menacing message for Paul. On October 27th, the 58-year-old made an appearance in his Behind the Mic segment alongside Gene Kilroy, the former manager of Muhammad Ali. As Kilroy observed Tyson's training in the gym, he appeared deeply touched by Tyson's dedication and intensity in preparing for the upcoming fight. "This is the strongest I've ever seen you, and I've known you since you were 13, Kilroy said. "This impresses the shit out of me. Nothing impresses me." Tyson shared the clip of this conversation on Instagram while naming his upcoming bout, Jake's Wake in 20 days, expressing his intentions for the fight. However, Paul didn't seem intimidated as he responded, writing, "Fair play, Mike. You look incredible. Hulk shit, but I'm still f***ing you up in 20 days. On the other hand, Mike Tyson has shockingly accused YouTuber-turned-boxer Jake Paul of staging his sparring session. Last month, Paul uploaded footage of the YouTuber dropping a sparring partner with a right hand. The young American then shouted to the camera, "Don't charge at me, Tyson." After posting the footage, fans were left unconvinced by the clip. Just a few weeks ago, Tyson himself shared a clip of him dropping his sparring partner with a sharp left hook. The video then cuts to his coach, Rafael Cordero, ending the session saying, "That was good for today." A pumped-up Tyson replied, "You sure? You sure?" Iron Mike then said, "I've got a lot in me," before issuing a warning to the problem child, "I'm just getting started." Both fighters seem eager to step into the ring and finally resolve their rivalry once and for all. They were originally slated to face off earlier this year, but Tyson had to withdraw from the scheduled match due to an ulcer flare-up. Despite Paul's steady stream of training videos, Tyson remains skeptical about the latest footage showing the young American flooring his sparring partner. In a discussion with Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo, Iron Mike shared his thoughts on that particular clip. He began, "You seen his sparring session where the guy faked being knocked out?" He added, "That was beautiful." Originally, both Usman and Cejudo were wondering what Tyson was referring to before the 58-year-old concluded, "It was a chubby guy. He took a fall. He took a dive." As concerns about the 58-year-old's health grow in anticipation of the upcoming showdown next month, fans have been pleasantly surprised by his recent sparring footage. The training videos, which quickly gained traction on social media, prompted Paul to address the current state of the former undisputed heavyweight world champion's fitness. In an interview with Today, the problem child said, "Tyson's dropping people in sparring. He looks in the best shape and the strongest he's ever been," his coaches are saying. "I know on November 15th it's going to be a war, but I just plan on outboxing him and showing the world what I'm capable of and coming alive in the moment and knocking out one of the best to ever do it." Following the announcement of the heavyweight clash, Paul has faced significant backlash for agreeing to the bout. In anticipation of the fight, the young American recently addressed the criticisms directed at him. "A lot of people are wondering, Jake, why are you doing this? Even if you beat him, they're going to say he's old. But to me, Mike Tyson wanted to fight me," he continued. "That is an honor. He's one of the most famous boxers in the world to ever do it. To step in there with someone of his nature is an honor and a dream come true. It's going to be a spectacle on Netflix." The upcoming event has stirred considerable debate, not least over the striking 31-year age difference between the fighters. Paul, born years after Tyson's legendary pursuit of the world title began, was just 8 years old when Iron Mike initially hung up his gloves in 2005, following his loss to Irishman Kevin McBride. The backlash intensified after 58-year-old Tyson was forced to withdraw from their scheduled July event due to a medical emergency mid-flight. Nonetheless, Paul maintained that anyone questioning the fight should address their concerns directly to Tyson. He added, "I would say it to Mike Tyson's face and see what happens. Mike does what Mike wants to do. and he's the one that you know wanted to make this a pro fight. He's still wanting to do it, and he believes he can beat my ass. Truly behind the scenes, to him, age is just a number. And he does look athletic, he does look strong, and he does look good on the mitts. So we'll see how it translates to the ring. Jake Paul's dive into combat sports captivates audiences through his knack for juggling multiple career trajectories, each promising its own exciting destination. Beyond his recent signing with the Professional Fighters League, hinting at an MMA debut, Paul has openly expressed aspirations to represent the U.S. in amateur boxing at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. Adding to the buzz, Paul ignited controversy by boldly challenging Mike Tyson at a live press conference, sparking fierce discussions and building anticipation for their highly anticipated face-off.
You think that he could last a long time with you, go into the later rounds?
I'd be surprised if he even makes it out of 2 rounds.
You'd be surprised if he makes it out of 2 rounds.
I just have too much power, too much speed, and with my coaching staff the past year and a half, working with them every single day, I've become literally a new fighter.
The legendary heavyweight recently surprised fans with an unannounced appearance on the It Is What It Is podcast, where he dropped a bombshell. He didn't even know who Jake Paul was. This came as a shock, given Paul's rise to fame following his prominent spot on the undercard of the highly publicized exhibition fight between Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr., where he made waves by delivering a knockout to ex-NBA player Nate Robinson. Reflecting on their encounter during his exhibition fight back in 2020, Tyson said, "I didn't know who the hell he was." However, now that Tyson has gotten to know the former Disney star, he claimed he's improved since he started. However, Paul hasn't improved enough for Tyson, who added, "I started him, and it looks like I'm going to finish him." With the countdown narrowing to just under 2 months until their highly anticipated clash, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul are capitalizing on every opportunity to spar, both physically and through their fiery exchanges of words. The former heavyweight champion has spent the last year focused on rigorous training as he gears up for his return to the ring. Ahead of his upcoming bout, Tyson shared insights into his daily workout routine during a recent guest appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live on September 23rd. Tyson said, "I'm training extremely hard. I start at 11 and I might leave the gym at 5. He admitted that he works out for 6 hours, changing up what he does during his small break in the day. "After I finish doing my boxing, I get a massage for an hour, and then I go right into strength and conditioning," he said. Cannabis isn't the sole influence on his training regimen. During a recent appearance on the Impulsive podcast, hosted by Logan Paul, Tyson shared that psilocybin mushrooms have played a significant role in boosting his workout performance. Tyson said, "I have to take them when I train. I always train with my mushrooms. I train on mushrooms because I feel beautiful. It takes me to heaven, baby." So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.